Good morning, y'all. Hope you all had a good Independence Day. It's been a minute since I've done a video. A lot has happened over the last month or so. The Halloween props continue to expand. We got one of these guys. Haven't mounted him yet, but we got him on platform. We have all of these guys to set up still. See a lot of new ones here. Some old ones we're going to repurpose. We got this guy a few years back. Haven't set him up. Same thing with this. I have a really sweet idea for this one. Stay tuned for that. This guy is pretty nasty. We saw him at Trans World this year. And we got this guy starting right now. This one's a pretty fun one. I think it's from Distortions. Yeah, still tons of stuff to do. Hopefully this year we don't get rained out like we did last year. In other news, the Wrangler, that green one that I bought 4 months ago, is gone. I no longer own that. It's been traded towards something new, which I will expose here. I should get it in about a week or so. Right now it's being wrapped and tinted. I have a loaner outside, actually same car, or similar car, but this will be done this week, I think, so stay tuned for a video of that. A little hint, it's something that I've had before, and I liked it so much I kept the WeatherTech mats I bought for it, so that's all I'm going to say. And I know what you're thinking. Chris, do you ever drive all these cars? The answer is yes, but it's not very often. You know, Pa and I, we own all these cars, for those who haven't seen my videos in the past. Him and I own this collection. Most of these in here are mine. A lot of them are his, but his are like Corvettes next door. And with having so many vehicles, you know, with only really 2 of us driving them, there's things that you got to consider, such as maintenance. You get in these vehicles, oil change, tire rotation, fluid change. Some of it is mile predicated, but you guys probably know some of it is also time predicated. Like if I got in the 992 right now, it'd say you're overdue by, you know, so many days. The Mercedes S-Class that Pa had a while back, I think always said service due or service expired by like 400, 500, 600 plus days, because they just don't get driven as much as the daily drivers do. And so, I mean, here in Minnesota, we got 4 months out of the year that we can't drive them because it's blisteringly cold outside, and these got performance tires, and we're not going to trash them like that. So also, you know, again, 2 of us driving this many cars, they do get rotated, but not as much as others. So what happens for that is sometimes they develop flat spots on the tires. I found that out with my 992 after sitting all winter. Drove it a few weeks back, and I was getting some chattering because the tires, you know, sat for so long over the winter without being moved. And they do work themselves out, you know, a little bit of heat, driving around a couple hundred miles, they do end up becoming round again. But there's things that you can do to prevent that, and that's what I want to do today. If you go to any high-end dealership, typically like McLaren, this one came with them. They come with these, they call them like race ramps or like storage ramps. Basically, they're foam ramps that contort to your tire, so that it prevents those flat spots from happening. So after rotating these, it's been a busy few months. I haven't had to drive these because it's soccer season, and it's just finally coming to an end, so now I'll get some more time with them. But sometime in the last few months, I've driven several of these cars, and some of them had the flat spots that I was talking about. And so about 4 months ago, I found this distributor called Race Ramps, I want to say, and they offer something called flat stoppers, and I ordered them up. And lead time went from, you know, I think it was like 1 month to 12 weeks to 60. About 4 months later, they finally came in. It was kind of a hassle. They promised me they would ship in May and then June, and then I ended up getting them just last week actually. So I picked up 10 sets. They're not the cheapest things, but the purpose of them is to prevent these wheels from having those flat spots. So today I thought I would install those and take you guys along with me. So that means we get to move all of these cars. Now I only got 10 sets. You say, hey Chris, there's a lot more than 10 cars here. Yes, but the ones that are on the top of the racks are the ones that typically don't get driven as much. I mean, minus these. I drive my cars. I'll show you guys in the mini box too. There's Corvettes in there that it is kind of a pain in the butt to get it that far back right one, because you got to move like 4 cars, 5, 6, almost 6 cars just to get that one car out of the way, versus these ones, I can just pull out the C5 to get the C6 out of the way. Makes sense, right? There are times when these cars won't move for months and months, like during soccer season or during the winter, and I want to keep these tires as perfect as I can. So I'm going to pull all these cars down. You guys can hear me start them. That'll be a fun video. And I'll pump up the tires with air. So that being said, let me show you these ramps. Got them all stacked up right here. These are called flat stoppers. I'm not exactly sure what I was expecting when I saw these online. It had to be more of like a rubberized foam. I mean, I guess it kind of is. It's similar texture to like a bed liner. Maybe not, I don't know. It is a foam. I mean, these things are very light. You see, they're very light. Oh, and it looks like they call for 1,500 pounds max each. None of these vehicles are over 6,000 pounds, except for like the whole Hummer EV, maybe H2. That's about it. We should be good to go there. But in theory, what you do is you back them up onto, I got the wide ones too, they offer different widths. I got the widest ones because sometimes some of these tires have pretty big meats on them. Like, look at this one. That one's not bad. So you end up driving them right on top of those ramps. This ends up contouring with the wheel and prevents flat spots. It is raining out a little bit, so I do got to keep all the vehicles inside, but at least you guys can hear what they sound like. I won't even bore you with this one. We got blakeness in the house. One thing we haven't done this year yet is scrub this floor, so I'm going to do that before I take all of these cars down. Alright, got this side floor cleaned up. Looking nice. There's a lot more dust on here than I thought. Ford does a good job at hiding the dirt, but once you do a line, you can kind of see it. All right, so now the next step is to bring each one of these cars down, pump up the tires on them to spec. I'll bring them forward a couple feet. How do I want to do that? I'm going to try to do it without having to remove them from the ramps. And then I can show you these flat stoppers. One thing to think about too is you gotta make sure they're even on both sides. This is me moving. This is when it becomes a problem because they got the front ones and looks like not the back ones. Alright, let's do this. Now they should all slip right in. That's how it should be. A little bit of trial and error. See the ramps, they contour to the tires. It's a little tricky because you want to like move the car forward enough to where you got enough space on the ramp or on the lift. Now a lot of these will just be done on the ground, but you gotta just remember to make sure they're all nice and even. And you keep the prowler here, of course. This one will be driven probably the least out of all these cars. I didn't plug the battery back in. Where are we on that one, Blakeness? Same thing with this one. I'm going to bring her forward to where I can get the ramps in there. Not too much. Actually, I probably don't need guidance. We could do this. This thing not charging? Oh, they had a fault on it. Great. Now we gotta jump it. Once in a while, these C-Tech charges, not often, but they'll give a fault. And if you don't go here every week and look at them, this light will light up. Now it's taking the charge, but dang, gotta jump it. Get some juice. Cars I had to consider when it came time to buy the thickness, or it's like the thickness of the ramp, the width I mean, because the tires on the Viper are so wide that you need to have something that consumes the entire width. Nice. Get this battery charged up and the Viper is done. Yeah, so I gotta move it forward enough to where it takes up this space on the ramp and not too far forward like I did on the Prowler. I need to adjust. So I'll just move it forward maybe, I don't know, 14 inches, something like that, and slide the ramps in, and she should be good. It's going pretty good. Next we got the GT4 RS. plan on driving this car pretty soon, so we're actually gonna move it down somewhere.
You say eh? That's pretty good. Oh. You said eh?
I'm gonna put the 992 up here, and this will be the proper way to do these race ramps versus what I was doing, you know, bringing them close to this front lip and then putting them in. This one I'm gonna do something different. I think that'll work. One of the only bad parts I just thought about these is the reverse order. When I go to pull a car off the ramp that has the race ramps installed, I'm gonna have to do what I'm doing here and pull it forward, move all the ramps, and then pull it out. There'll just be a few more steps, so that's all right. This whole thing shifted. It did. A whole inch almost. Alright, I don't recommend doing what we just did. I moved them with the car on the lift. All I had to go was about half an inch. So now she's good. Now she's in line. Back in line. Looking good. I hit my head. these four wheels were between 10 and 12 pounds low than what they should be. So this is a good reason or good excuse to have these flat stoppers, because there's no doubt that these tires will have some flat spots if I drove this car down the road. This is always a good sign. No oil. This is the passenger side. Look at my view I had when backing this thing up. You can see that tire perfectly. That was sweet. All right, well, there you got it. That's the, took longer than expected, but that's the flat stoppers purchased from, what is it, Race Ramps. I think they're gonna do pretty good. Purpose of them is just to prevent flat spots from happening on your tires. I'll let you guys know later on this season, but I mean, these things are pretty solid foam. It's not like a rubber, but it's like a rubber coating and a really dense foam. But yeah, they seem to fit really nice. This is my first time doing this, so install, you know, had a little bit tricky. I had to get used to figuring out, you know, the distance between here and here, and this is actually surprisingly pretty steep incline. So some of the cars are struggling just ever so slightly, but got it going. To reverse all this, obviously I'm not going to be able to drive over this. Maybe I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that, of course. So I'm going to have to take them off the ramp, and then get out of the car, move these out of the way, and then remove the car from the lift here. So we'll give these a try for a little bit. Hopefully get some results. Lots of new car deals over the last month since I posted, really. Pa bought a Maybach GLS 600. Sold it yesterday. He only put like 300 miles on it. I told him not to get it. That's more of a vehicle that you get chaperoned in, or chauffeured in, I mean. It's a sweet car, but he ended up selling it for a loss, of course, because he bought it new, sold it used. And then I told you the Wrangler's gone. That new car I should be taking, I already took delivery of it technically, but it's being wrapped and tinted like I said earlier. I'll be getting that hopefully mid this week, so I'll do a cleanup video and a tour of that here as soon as I can. My schedule's finally starting to open up, so I got time. We got a car show coming up. I'm gonna enter this guy in. Next, I gotta go next door to the mini box. Here, I'll do that right now. The mini box. So I just ran out of time today. I got here like 9 o'clock or so, a little bit later than I wanted to. Had a real good 4th of July. Made some bomb brisket. That stuff was so good, turned out perfectly. But I gotta come back here at some point and do the same flat stopper deal to these cars back here. And this one's gonna be kind of a pain because like I gotta move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 just to get access to that one. So sometime next week. Maybe I'll do it next week, maybe the following week. I'll get the flat stoppers installed over here. Here's all the vets, in case I haven't seen them for a while. All right, I'm out of memory and time. I'm gonna end this video here. As always, appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.